Hi, I'm Keegan. This is a bunch of gamers. This is our 78th episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse, 20th Anniversary Edition. Leech War. The Lost Cub. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Get Fenris.
I'm Tyler, and I play Kyle, also known as Guards the Low. He's a Philodox of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a Thurge of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm George. I'm playing Roy Mindscape. He is a Ragabosh with the Stargazers.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Theurge of the Silent Striders.
Hello, my name's Thomas. I play Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Last time, the Pax entered the human trafficking facility with the vampire known as Kirby. With their vampiric powers, they were able to convince several of the guards to let them through, and to convince one of them to turn over evidence to try and shut down the entire operation. With this, the Pax rescued Veronica, Dimitri's kin, who was tricked by members of the homeless community who had been taken in by this sinister organization to elevate themselves out of poverty. The Pax then returned to the Sept of the Sacred Stone, only to be approached by a fetch spirit, claiming that the daughter of Iron-Howl was ready to change. The Pax, with not a moment to spare, rushed after the spirit in the Umbra, and soon would be at the house of the young Garu. As you run through the Umbra, you arrive. As the spirit turns and looks at you, it smiles as its whiskers twitch and sputter in all directions as it goes,
She is near. She is near here. Find her. Glory be to the Garu Nation.
as the spirit dissolves into several smaller rat spirits that swarm off in all directions. As you sit in the southern part of Colorado Springs, the long, silvery strands of the Weaver cast about in all directions, long neon wires that give off the glow of the nearby streetlights, or seem to appear like streetlights, though some dim and flicker. You all notice a shadow on the other side, walking, pacing beneath the lights.
I guess that we should probably find a surface and step sideways.
So, you find a reflective surface, and you'll need to step sideways. The difficulty here is 7.
I'll go ahead and roll for the pack.
Miss Pack Leader, do you want to roll for us? Awesome.
Fuck.
It's not a botch.
It's not a botch, thank God.
Would you like to use your mulligan chip?
So early.
Does not change my question in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. God damn it. This is gonna be the botch.
Nope.
No, okay.
As you both find a car in an alleyway, as you stare into the mirrors and you pass through in about 30 seconds, you notice Bloodwind, actually. The tall, rusty-haired human, in this case, with a bit of a tan, gazing at the house, seeming to check if all is in order, before seeming to turn back and start heading back towards the Karen.
I'll call out to him. Kevin.
Stop and turn when he hears that name. I walk. You guys are probably hiding behind something. I think he'll walk towards you.
Were you watching over Gabriella?
I went to check on her. She seems in order.
A rat spirit brought us here. She's about to have her first change.
I see.
Have you been present for one of these before? Like, before the slaughter?
I have. I've never met her, though. She does not know my face. The family was kept from this life. Neither will know of it.
That makes things more difficult.
Especially because we don't want her to change within the city.
Yeah.
Perhaps you go there and speak to them to have her leave.
They've never seen us either.
Then we take her.
That's an option.
Though it could force her first change.
Possibly, but
So,
it could possibly spare some from the slaughter, make it less noticeable.
And spare her mother at least. But then we have to worry about the consequences of the police searching for a missing child.
And violating the
Search.
high ban.
so
But
take her. Let's go. I will take her. Then we can go, and she will change and join us.
All right.
All right, Keegan. I will kind of do a little walk around the house here first. Is it a single family home or an apartment or what?
It is a apartment complex.
Okay.
You know that in your mind, the family of Iron-Howl was 4 windows up, 5 over on the west side.
All right.
You look up and the lights are on. There is certainly someone home.
Fire escapes or anything on the outside, Keegan, or no? It's modern building.
Modern building.
Okay.
Are there like porches, patios that kind of extend outward to kind of create like a giant ladder, possibly up to that floor?
There is one of those, yeah. They have the really janky, like just barely pushing out kind of.
Okay. I'd imagine that's the
I
fire escape.
I want it to be known that Roy makes a mention that I think this is a pretty bad idea. I don't have a better one, but I think this one itself is bad.
A lot of things could go wrong.
Possibly.
I think we just need to talk to her about the same way we spoke with the other new Garu.
But we didn't have to deal with his family.
he had also already changed.
So it seems our only person here that has any sort of connection to the family of this changeling is Bloodwind right now. This is out of character, but it's barely a connection as I understand it. So we need to somehow get whoever is in that apartment out, and then to the point, just good old-fashioned kidnapping.
So how hard is it to step sideways with somebody not of your pack?
To force them through, damn near impossible.
And you can't use willpower to step sideways?
Nope.
Yeah, so I had the same thought too.
You would have to
Quick.
attune. You have to attune to her, or have a gift that allows you to take other people into the Umbra.
Look, if it makes everyone feel better, we could try and talk to her first, and then when that fails, or if that fails, then we can grab her.
Okay.
Like, I don't think we lose anything.
I would prefer that, just for the fact that I just think kidnapping, getting the police involved, which the leeches are part of intimately, would just set up so much more.
Well, considering we're already, we're in the war zone already, escalating things more is kind of impossible when things are already at their most.
It makes things even worse for the family, and then they're also distant family.
Well, and also all of our kin. It is worth noting that the high ban is in place for a reason, and it's not because things can't get worse. It's because they can get exponentially worse for everyone we love, and we
Quickly.
should keep that in mind.
Right. I'm not saying we're going to be doing this in Krynos, but
Shifting it all.
exactly. But oh no, getting the police involved. Police are already involved. There's been a series of police murders over the past few months. I don't think they just stopped investigating those.
Let's at least just go and talk to them.
As you guys head into the apartment, you start heading up. You're gonna have to. You guys are trying to orient yourselves as well. Bloodwind only knew the apartment based on its location outside, but you finally get up and you approach the door.
Does anyone have any ideas on what we're going to talk to them about? Or are we just going to be up front?
I think maybe Kyle should go first. He's the most eloquent of our group.
All right. I'm going to activate persuasion. That seems
Alright.
worthwhile.
All right, so the difficulty will go down by 1.
Okay. And then I will knock on the door.
You knock on the door as a older woman, maybe, in her late 20s up to maybe her mid 30s, cracks open the door. She looks over all of you and she's like, "Oh, no thank you. We have everything we need, and we're very happy with our church. Thank you," as she starts closing the door.
We're not here for that, actually. Are you, Gabriella?
Why are you interested in my 13-year-old daughter? And she looks over all of you.
Out of character, we knew her father?
Yeah.
Like, that's my only...
Well, we actually knew Arturo.
As she gets this look of confusion, shock, and then goes, "That deadbeat? Why does that matter? We had a fling. He stuck around for a couple days and then decided the streets were better. Never came to see her in her 13 years of life. I don't give a flying fuck about Arturo."
And that's fair, but other people do. And although he may not have shown it in any capacity, he cared enough about her to mention her, and, well, he was involved in some dangerous shit.
Alright, give me a manipulation expressions roll, and with your persuasion, we will drop that to difficulty 8, and you'll get a bonus die for your quick thinking. As she softens just a little bit, and she goes, "What kind of dangerous shit? Is my daughter in danger now?"
Potentially, yes.
Is she in danger because you're here now?
No, we are trying to head off that danger. I promise our intention is not to put any more danger into your household, but instead to prevent it.
As she shakes a little bit, takes a deep breath. "What do you need from us?"
Out of character, I did not think this far ahead.
I got this.
You didn't think it was going to be this easy. What do I need to do?
I didn't think she was going to be 13. I was really hoping it was going to be older.
Were we told when Gabrielle was going to change?
It's unknown. The spirit only goes off when they know it's going to happen soon. And soon could mean it just happened, it's about to happen, it happened 10 seconds after it told you, or it could be like a couple days.
Okay. Do we know how, like, is a couple days like the maximum it's ever been that we know of?
You can do an intelligence occult roll. Yep, so roll Mark, and we'll just have it so that he told you guys this as you were running, so we don't, like, he doesn't whisper in Kyle's ear while this is happening.
Ask the mother to come too.
I think that's
know-
the best bet, yeah.
Yeah.
The max you know about is a week.
Most I've known about is a week.
So yeah, I think our best option is to try and get Mom on board,
I agree.
Because if we don't get Mom on board, then this is going to be way more difficult.
Definitely, I think honesty with the mother.
Specifically, it's your daughter that we're worried about. But obviously, you're her mother, so if our idea was to get her out of the city for a week at the most, until this blows over, and you could join us in that.
Okay. Gabrielle's been a bit distant lately. What is the dangerous stuff Arturo is in on? Why does it matter 13 years after the fact?
I'll be honest in that it's kind of hard to explain quickly.
Cliff Notes will be fine.
I just want to say it's gang related and leave it at that. Cliff Notes version.
It's very similar to a gang war.
Okay. Give me a moment as she closes the door. It takes a bit longer than you'd expect before the door finally opens. You see that she's got a purse next to her, and her hand rests within the purse.
That makes sense.
Definitely.
And is the daughter here?
No, she's like, Gabriella's in her room. She just came back after hanging out with friends.
Okay. Are you guys ready? We will be walking. I know that's tedious, but...
Do I need to pack up clothes, anything?
Clothes would be best, yes.
You might want a couple changes for each of you.
She walks over and she knocks on the door. Gabriella! She starts speaking Spanish to her daughter. You don't really hear anything on the other side. She's like, I'm sorry, teenagers. We'll get ready. As she knocks on the door again and starts speaking again, nothing. She goes, Gabriella? Gabriella? What do you do?
Could you open the door?
Is there any way to sense transformation?
I mean, if one of us were in the Umbra, and we
Maybe.
were looking in, and
Or
they
can
became
we-
spiritually awakened.
Can we hear the cracking of bone, the tearing of flesh as this young
No,
lady
it's
is
just-
transforming?
It's just quiet.
I'll speak in to the house or apartment a little louder. Do you want us to check on her?
I'll start packing. You see the visible confusion and conflict of interests in her mind as she's gone from flight, fight, and freeze, and her mind has chosen freeze at this very moment.
I'll jump in here, and Cora will put like her hand on her chest and just like.
All right, Keegan, I'm gonna walk up and kick the door in.
Strength, please. Strength. Diff 5. It's not a well-built door.
I almost want to say, is it too late to just grab him and not let him do this?
Door in.
Mark's gonna keep his eye on her purse.
As you kick the door swings open, and the room is empty. The window is open with the curtains blowing with the slight breeze.
Roy, track her.
Something of her in there, and you scent of sight, Keegan, and look out the window and see if I can determine where she is.
All right. You got a smell. Her smell goes out the window as you notice that there is a crudely tied bedsheet rope that's heading down as you see her on the last rung of the building as she looks up and goes, "I don't need your help."
All right, Keegan, I'm going to use true fear and just go, stop.
All right.
See if I can hold her in place.
Roll that true fear.
Yep.
Her willpower is 3. As she just freezes, clutching, just...
Cora will run out of the building and around.
Well, she sees... The mom pulls the gun out and goes into the room going like, "What the hell is going on in here?" Pulling a gun from her purse as she looks out the window and she's, "Gabriella!" As Gabriella's too shook to even speak.
Mark's gonna, as calmly and as passively, place his hand on the mother's shoulder and just kind of lower the firearm gun and be like, "Settle down. It's fine. We found your daughter."
She's frozen there for 3 turns. That's 1 turn. What are you guys doing? Cora, I need you to spend 2 points of rage to get there in time, to get the extra actions of extra running to speed yourself up.
I would also like to go out with Cora, too.
Okay. 2 points of rage, please.
All right.
I'm gonna step inside and ask the mother, "Do you have any dry foods that we can take with you?"
We've got some snacks, not some trail mix, some crackers.
I'll just go ahead and grab a bag then and just start like throwing the dry stuff into a bag real quick and just usher her out the door once I'm done.
As she's clearly still kind of shaken. Cora, you get down there just in time as the true fear wears off of Gabriella as she goes, she looks down and she goes, looks at Cora kind of with a contemptuous glare, going, "Move, old lady."
I'm not moving.
As she goes, "Okay."
Hope you're good at baseball, Cora.
As you see her muscles double in size and her teeth move around as she grows a bit more body hair, as she drops down and tries to drop an elbow on Cora.
Cool. Cora will step out of the way and let her smash her elbow into the ground. With her falling onto the ground, Cora's just gonna put a foot on her back, upper back, and kind of try and hold her there. Okay. No, you gotta stop, because she's used to changes, right? So it's not gonna take her by surprise or anything.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do that, you'll have to spend a point of rage or split your die pool.
I'll spend a point of rage.
Okay, so Dex Athletics for the dodge.
I'm gonna re-roll.
All right, spend that mulligan chip if you really want to.
No, you're right. I won't re-roll that. I'll just let her fall into me. And then can I spend a point of willpower to change my action and hold her?
Yeah, that'll change it to a grapple check.
Yeah, cool.
All right, and roll soak. She gets an extra die because she's dropping a good distance, hitting your noggin.
4.
So
Is that bashing?
It is bashing. So she clunks you right in the head with a good wallop.
Oh.
And we'll grapple check.
As you get a good hold of her, as she starts growling, and she goes,
Let go of me.
Gabrielle, your mom's up there. We don't want this.
as you feel her muscles growing even more as her feet touch the ground, as her head changes and her strength goes up.
Ooh, can I use the like, cause I feel like I'm being pushed back, right?
Yeah.
Can I use that to kind of just like to try and
That's gonna be a diff 9, minimum of probably 2 or 3 successes, since she weighs well over 800 pounds at this point.
Oh, and you
She's
said
a
my
willpower.
deadlift is you said my deadlift is only 500.
I'm gonna expend a Gnosis and a Rage for Might of Thor, and I did the roll, and I'm gonna grab this rope, and I'm gonna jump out this window, swinging on this thing, and I'm gonna take this guru down to the ground.
All right.
Spending the additional Rage for extra action. Probably
All
do
right.
that.
All right.
I have
So
2 rounds of double strength, and that puts my strength at and
All right.
I'm gonna use my maneuver to take her out here.
So
It puts-
one rage for jumping out the window, 1 rage for the grapple, and your standard action to slam her to the ground. So
Got
2
it.
rage.
Okay.
I will need a strength athletics roll for the initial jump, difficulty 5, just to make sure that you land properly.
That's with augmented strength, right?
That is with your augmented strength. So that's 12 strength.
All right.
He Hulk drops to the point where Cora, you still hold on, but the ground shakes beneath your feet. All right, Dex Brawl to grapple. She is not dodging.
All right. Standard diff.
Standard diff. You successfully grapple, and now it is a contested strength roll as you lift to throw.
That breaks my grapple, right?
No, you're still on her.
Sweet.
So you're just like,
Sweet.
I mean, not really. Cora, you take another point of bashing damage as he picks this Krynos up, lifts, and slams onto the ground with you underneath it like a rag doll
Perfect.
in
Fuck
Hamid
you,
form.
Bloodwind.
And
Fuck you, Bloodwind. You hear from underneath the giant Krynos.
that 8 successes, though.
Yeah. Well done.
That might have Thor. Woof.
He's got one more round of it
Yeah, I've been looking at it.
as she growls and goes,
What in God's name are you?
Like you. Now stop.
as the mother has come down, she sees Gabrielle and she's like, did that thing attack my baby?
No, ma'am.
As you hear screams from inside the building now, as they look down and the delirium takes effect. And Gabrielle goes,
No, Mom.
as she shifts back down, it's me. As she is naked as the day is long.
Cora will get out from underneath Gabriella and like take her shirt off and give it to the girl. Like, you need you're young.
Yeah.
Put it on.
As the mother grabs into her bag and throws some more clothes at her, as it dies down and you hear, what was all the screaming about? There was a bear out there. It was huge.
We have to go now. Soon as you're done putting clothes on.
Really, there was a bear? I don't see anything. I just see some guys. As she gets the clothes on, you guys start heading out. As you hear sirens in the distance.
All right. So we're moving with Mom and Gabriella. What is her name?
The mom's name is Lydia.
Lydia. Okay. So we've got Mom and Lydia, and we're headed out.
Gabriella, and then the
sorry.
mom's name is Lydia. Yeah.
We've got Lydia and Gabriella, and we're just heading out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So I am gonna guess that on our way back to the Sept, we're just explaining everything to Lydia, trying to like do it gently, right?
As gently as you can with Bloodwind there giving his colorful commentary.
Yeah, fair enough.
Gaia has chosen you. You are strong. You will need for nothing.
But I do like wits occult to try to twist all this like a cool story, like try to.
That would be a charisma performance check to turn it into a cool story.
That only gives me 3.
I could turn it into a cool story.
Now you could use your wits occult to boost Dimitri's roll.
I will do that.
All right, please roll your wits occult, difficulty 6. Every success you roll is an extra bonus die for Dimitri. There we go.
You get 1 extra dice.
1 bonus die to your charisma performance roll, Dimitri. Difficulty 6.
All right, here we go.
Nice.
Nice.
As you tell an amazing story, as you regale about the worm weaver, the worm festering in the world, the Garu's purpose, the splitting of the tribes, the totems, so on and so forth.
This is a good story, but too bone-gnar for my taste. Do your friends give you a ball to balance on your nose, kin?
And this is another part of Garu culture, as you'll see in your growing. We are very diverse in our opinions and in our ways, but we are still united as one.
As you get closer and closer to the cairn, as you guys swing up through Monument to try and backtrack around the Air Force Academy.
Cora's gonna check in on Gabriella just to see how she's doing with the long walk, and with Lydia as well. Just like, hey.
Yeah, they're both getting real tired.
Y'all doing good?
Lydia more so than Gabriella. Gabriella is able to draw upon her own Garu-like strength. I'm good.
Would Lydia like a piggyback ride? Just because, I mean,
we here at the Garu Nation, and especially the Get of Fenris, have nothing but the most utmost respect for our kin.
Yeah, let's take a break, guys.
As you guys take a break, as you're kind of in one of the park areas now, they're taking deep breaths as Lydia goes, "Thanks. You said Howls-In-Memory, right?"
Yes.
Puts a lot of context to what I've been feeling the past few days.
Mark's gonna go ask a tree for any branches it doesn't need so that they can get a campfire going. Maybe. Or something for the kin.
You do that and you start setting up the campfire.
I'll also pull out some of the dry goods, like snacks, and give them to Lydia and Gabriella.
As they start eating, as they're sitting around the campfire, Gabriella goes, "Yeah, it happened 3 days ago. It's like a fever dream. Felt the world change, and I felt just this sort of anger from the ground, and it kind of bled into me. Didn't hurt anyone, I don't know, I got into a shouting match with some friends, and then they were fine the next day, so they ran. They said a bear came and attacked us, so Garu."
That's right.
"So my dad was then? Because you said that it was related to him. I heard you through the door."
Yeah. Is that why you tried to run away?
"I tried to run away because I thought it was gang related, and my mom couldn't handle a gang, but I figured since I was starting to get the hang of becoming big and scary, I could handle a gang."
Well, they are technically correct. Mark is going to explain to Gabriella that when we're in our human form and when we have our traditions over us, talking about the high ban, sometimes we have to speak the truth by omitting some information. It's a little bit gang related, just more supernatural and paranormal, like on the TV shows. And hopefully this is something she can relate to.
After everything that has been explained, do either of you have any questions while we're taking a break?
As Lydia goes, "Will I be able to see my daughter again?" As she's got tears in her eyes, looking at Gabriella, hearing about the constant war with the worm and the death of warriors and the halls of heroes.
Sometimes this happens and parents don't know. And we're never allowed to see or speak to our parents again for their own safety. You do know. So it's very possible that you'd be allowed to see each other. Right now it's difficult because of the war that we are in right now, because of the ban that we are under. But it's possible.
Though it's also worth noting that as impressive as your control over the ability is now, it takes a lot of training to, well, get closer to perfection. No Garu can control themselves all of the time, but there is very real danger towards those that do not change from those of us that do. My mother actually was killed by my father when he had a change, and he was already an established Garu.
I understand, but Lydia starts rubbing Gabriella's cheek, and Gabriella starts getting a little teary-eyed too as she starts thinking. She's like, I don't want to hurt you, Mom. She's like, I know, as they kind of pull each other close, and they hold each other by the fire.
And through that training, it will help decrease that chance.
Wait, we're not in the city anymore.
Yeah, you're in the woods near the city. You're like in a park in Monument.
Okay, Mark's gonna turn into Lupus, and he's just gonna curl up.
What are these sad stories? What is this weeping? Strength, honor, and the story of our deeds and fighting for the mother. You will be honored, woman, that you have given birth to a great warrior that will serve great Fenris, slay the enemies of creation, the Gaian mother, and that she will one day ascend or she will die in battle, and both of these things will bring you great joy to your heart, knowing that she did right and what was needed when it had to be done because no one else would. Do not weep around a fire and embrace. What is this? Why do we fill you with despair? There is none to be had, only glory and honor in fighting for this.
As they both look still teary-eyed, though a twinge of, I guess what you'd call confusion, being taken aback by the chastisement.
Mark's gonna spend a willpower to talk in his Lupus form. Can I do that?
You can speak wolf speak. If you're trying to speak human speak, you'd have to do a partial transformation.
So it's pretty much just to kind of not necessarily discredit what Bloodwind. Pretty much I just want to get the point across that you're going to come across Garu just like this. Fervent and filled with spirit and stuff like that. But I want to stay in Lupus form. You know what? I'm just going to do that partial transformation, speak the human tongue while I'm a dog because I'm trying to show cool stuff off to them.
Yeah.
Or whatever, wolf.
So roll, spend a point of willpower. Spend a point of willpower and roll stamina, primal urge, difficulty 8. All right, your vocal cords change into human.
You'll also come across many Garu like this, fervent and full of spirit. Definitely brings much flavor to the nation. He's of the Get of Fenris, by the way, a tribe, but you'll get familiar with that in your training. Don't let his words bother you. They could uplift you, but it's up to you.
So, what tribe was my dad?
I'm not too familiar with your father, but as I understand it, Kyle and Cora over there are Two-Hearts, and as I understand it, Two-Hearts and Guards the Low over there know more about him.
He was a Bone Gnar, another tribe, and I knew him. He was in my pack, and he is dead.
Did he die like some of those Garu in the stories Howls-In-Memory was talking about?
He died at the hands of a warrior of the Guru. You will learn more.
Mark will just give an understanding shake of his wolf head.
The silence is deafening. All that's there now is the rustle of the wildlife and the crackles of the flames before it's time to finally head out again. I guess we keep walking then?
We keep walking.
She nods. She looks over at Mark and she thinks for a bit. And she goes, so how do you get there to the four-legged thing? For the wolf form?
Mark will change back to Muhammad form so that way he doesn't have to strain himself during the explanation. And he'll He'll say, it's kind of a strange feeling. You think about what you want to transform into, and because of the gift that Gaia has blessed us, it comes easy. It's like a primal urge to become something that Gaia has gifted us.
Okay. And she seems to be concentrating as you see her getting bigger, stronger. She's back to Glabro. She's like, so not quite like this. As she shifts all the way down to lupus form. And she stops. And is overwhelmed. The smells of rivers miles away. She hears the movements of squirrels in the trees over the next hill. She hears your heartbeats, even though her head is not pressed against it, and she gets the distinct smell of each of you. She smells the trees, the plants, and she could tell where they are just by turning her head towards them. It's a sensation that is unusual, as her eyes are able now to see slightly better in the dark, yet lose a bit of color as well. She shakes and looks around. It is as if she was deaf before this moment, and like her nose was blind.
Mark will transform back into lupus form, and then just pretty much start speaking the wolf speak. This is a natural form. This is a form that is pure for our transformations. It is, and the only word I'd think of is just natural. Feels the greatest.
Keegan, I'll shift to lupus since we're not in the scab anymore.
Okay. As Bloodwind also changes, as the red-haired man turns into a timber wolf with rusty brown highlights in his fur.
I'll look at her. Some among us, and he'll gesture to Dimitri, will forget this and attempt to stay with the two legs. This form is important. It gives guidance to our people who forget the wolf too often.
Thank you for that reminder, Bloodwind. But the form of the Hamid was also gifted to us too as first.
I know the preferences of the children of Gaia. You don't need to tell me.
Dimitri is also going to shift into lupus, just out of spite, and say, I do not forget my natural form. I adapt to survive.
Bring balance to your pack and let them remember as they forget and forsake us for other kin and other concerns.
Mark will look at Gabriella, and this is the spirit of the nation before you. It is a great spirit. It is fervent. It is passionate.
He's saying, it's not like that. It's actually more like this. And he's just howling.
And she kind of gives a slight chuckle. Thank you for translating. So I heard when that one, as she points to Mark, said that there's a tribe called the Geta Fenris, and you'd mentioned that Arturo's tribe was the Bonars. What's your tribe?
My tribe is of the Stargazers.
Oh, that's a nice name for a tribe, at least.
I would like to think so, but we're all special in our own ways.
Oh, she gets kind of a grin and nudges you, trying to return the favor. So they show Sesame Street at your Garu training camps, huh?
Yes, there are big birds and Oscar the Grouch, and he'll wink and nudge at Lydia.
Point to Bloodwind.
I don't think I need to go that far.
She laughs a little bit. As you guys keep walking, as Lydia is listening as intently as she can when you're speaking in human tongue to try and absorb as much as she can to try and understand her own daughter before you get to the Karen grounds.
When we get to the Karen grounds, I feel like we should probably tell them to wait there while we talk to...
Some of us can stay, some of you can go.
Yeah, that's not what... Yeah.
The council?
Yes.
Is the council actually officially formed now?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Well, yeah.
I
Well,
feel like that's news for me.
They did
Don't
it
forget.
after
Talking-
they agreed to form it after Howling King's initial strike. They celebrated his
I just
elevation
didn't-
to the council. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know it actually happened, and we had a council now. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so I think some of us should stay and some of us should go and talk to the council. Let them know that we're here and that we have Lydia as well.
Mark
As
will
much as I
stay.
would like to go, I will stay, since Lydia is probably most comfortable with me.
Mark will stay.
Yeah, Dimitri will stay and tell Gabriella more stories about the Garu.
Okay.
I guess
So,
that means me and Bloodwind are going.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're both alphas, so we'll go.
Yep.
All right. So you both strut in as you give a howl to let them know that you're on your way. The only all three counselors, of course, are on sept grounds due to the high ban. As you come into near the center of the cairn, and they've moved around some of the logs and things like that so that they all can sit at equal height. As you approach, see Final Days, Fate Dancer, and Howling King.
Good news. We've retrieved another pup.
Howling King nods and goes, "This is good news. The cairn needs more, especially more from the city itself." Fate Dancer nods. It'll also give the Den Father a bit more to do as they all kind of chuckle amongst themselves. Urgenda goes, "But Cora, it seems you have something else on your mind."
Yes. And a couple of bits of neutral news, hopefully. Iron-Howl's pup. And
They nod gravely
her mother.
as Regender goes, "I know you thought you were doing what was right, but if I remember correctly, the only mate that I know of Iron-Howl's was Callow." And when Fate Dancer speaks up, "But if she was in danger," as Howling King shakes his head, "it's risky. Having a kin show up here. She's not going to be able to walk through the woods without us, and it's just another point of them maybe... It might be another kin that they can put on their list if they didn't know she was one. You should have left her behind.
She was in danger of her daughter.
And that is a risk.
I believe that we made the right decision, though risky.
Then we will abide by your decision," Howling King says. And Regenda goes, "And I think this is good. The compassion shown by Cora is what we need to see more of, especially in these trying times." As Howling King looks over and goes, "Possibly, but if we remain locked in fear, this high band's going to last a long time, and he looks over at Bloodwind, tensions are rising among some of the Garu here. How are the plans proceeding about the evacuation?" Regender goes, "We've gotten a fair amount out on camping trips. Hopefully that'll help ease things up. We still need to figure a way to get the Callow out." As Fate Dancer goes, "Gentlemen, this is not to be discussed here and now. At least, not to overwhelm our friends. I apologize, Cora. We got lost in our thought."
Not overwhelmed at all. You mentioned camping trips and getting kin out. I think that sending Lydia with Eleanor, my cousin, who is here now, would help keep that safety, that secrecy for our kin. Sending them out as well on a camping trip, it would give Lydia, is her name, a chance to learn a bit more and be safe while
As
Gabriella is training.
Final Days goes, "It's a good idea. I say, do it if you trust Lydia and Eleanor will get along, and that we don't have a new potential leak for our secrets."
I do not understand this many words you are speaking now. Look how many of the wolf kin have died for this cause. And now the precious human kin are in danger, and we sneak with our tails low like a coyote or a fox, rather than fight and know that death might come. An evacuation, we abandon our lands, our kin would fall back to where? Because they're in danger? I do not understand how danger suddenly fills our hearts with fear, and we do not understand, and our kin do not, that danger is here and we fight the worm. We fight for Gaia, for creation, and we die. There is nothing new about this. Is there new information or knowledge you have unlocked that says this has changed? Did something change in the battle that I do not know? Have we surrendered? Have the warriors of Fenrir surrendered and all been killed? Do we give up and retreat from the worm and go where? And to tell the kin that this is acceptable, I do not understand.
Regender takes a deep breath as he goes, "We understand your concern and the pain of our lupus brothers and sisters, but the lupus cannot be turned into more worm creatures, at least not as easily as these leeches can do to our human kin. Surely you can understand the pain and the demoralizing effect it would have on any Garu to have their kin become a servant of the worm. We just need them out of the city."
Should our kin fall, then we do what Gaia requires and destroy it because they are lost. That is the vicious nature of the worm. That is why it is corrupt and terrible, because the cost is great and we fight constantly and we stay strong in this. You know this, Final Days, Rhea. Again, what has changed? We have all seen people fall, and we do what we must because Gaia commands it. To do less is to fail.
Howling King takes a deep breath. "It is a way to do more. A warrior cannot always advance, Bloodwind, and so one must reset their footing and get their arms and their claws and their teeth ready, lest they fall and crash onto the ground and expose their throat and their belly unwittingly to an opponent ready to strike."
It would appear we misjudged our opponent when we thought this would be easy victory, although I have never heard of an easy victory in my time as Guru, and I believe Fenrir would laugh at me if I said that I sought an easy victory, and then he will fall silent.
"Thank you for the information, both of you. Let them both in. We'll find a way to make Lydia look like one of the joggers who comes through the park." Meanwhile, the rest of the group still waiting on the edge of the cairn as Gabriella and Lydia keep a close eye as the eye shine of some of the local Garu gleam from within the forest itself as they're coming to check but keep their distance so that they don't alert any hunters to the possibility of wolves. Just the eye shine of creatures, maybe mountain lions or bears is a popular one. As Lydia just takes a few deep breaths, going, "So you guys just live out in the woods here?"
It's much more comfortable than you think.
I guess if you turn to wolves, it's not too bad.
And there's also some Muhammad amenities that we provide too. We have clothing, other food than just meat. It's kind of a mix. And don't let the eyes fool you. It's just our set members and our cairn members just having a curious look.
Okay. As she kind of gives a shiver.
Roy will shift into Glabro and kind of put an arm around her.
Thank you. She smiles up. A few hours go by before you hear the howl from Cora and Bloodwind that it's all right to come in.
If I'm in Glabro, can I howl back?
Yeah.
Or, okay. Excuse me, Lydia, real quick. And I'm gonna arch up and howl the response.
And you're allowed into the cairn. As you move through, they find some blankets for Lydia, and Gabriella is put with Jacob now to be the two new fresh recruits trained for the ways of the Garu. Graham approaches Cora and nudges her.
What's up?
As he smiles and whispers in your ear, "We can't very well ask a member of the council to do regeneration training."
Are you asking me to do regeneration training?
Well, you seem to have a similar temperament, Cora, that Howling King had at the time.
All right.
We'll begin in 3 days.
I'm down. Let's do it.
And so you do it in 3 days. You take the pipe You take the pipe, you tell them to change into forms, and you start breaking their legs and telling them to focus on healing. You hit them,
Yes, I do.
Push them, you yell, you howl. You gain 1 honor for training them.
Not 2 honor, but better than none.
Well, luckily you just get the minimum, because it is just 1 honor. But
fantastic.
it can't go down to 0 in this case. Though, to any outsider, this does not look honorable. On the 25th, Dimitri, one of the members of Older Brother, approaches you. She nods and goes, Howls-In-Memory, as it is distant song.
Greetings, distant song.
One of your kin is wandering around the park. I think they're looking for you. It's not a great sign. I thought we told all kin not to do that, but I wanted to tell you and for you to look into it before we escalate it to any of the tribal elders.
All right. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll go and talk to them.
All right, she's by the entrance near the parking lot by the big sign.
All right, thank you.
As you head that way, you see Veronica pacing, looking around.
And I'll go up and approach her. Say, Veronica, is everything okay?
So, hey, Dim. Kind of. So, thought I'd let you know that the Kirby's missing. They decided to lie low, I guess. I guess the other vampires are upset with them.
Okay. Where was the last place you saw them?
They approached me 2 nights ago. They said that Nicholas was real mad at the man confessing the way he did and just bringing documents and things like that and being as, well, I guess, cheerful as he was. Raised some red flags, and there's a group of government agents from the Special Affairs Department. I guess there's some sort of government branch that looks into vampires. So on the plus side, it sounds like the vampires are going to be more lenient about you guys using your powers in the city because it might draw the agents off them. So you might want to tell everyone that they might be able to do things a bit easier without retaliation if they have to. And Tim, she kind of tears up. Only 5 people are going to jail. They were able to get rid of documents or people or something, and so that guy's immediate supervisor and everyone who worked under him are going to jail, but the rest were able to look clean, or there was enough evidence or something that they didn't know, or that at least there wasn't enough evidence based on his confession.
What? And Dimitri's gonna outburst a little bit.
That sounds like a rage roll.
Yeah.
It would be difficulty 7. It's a crescent moon.
All right. Good thing I spent that 2 rage earlier. Let's see. 7.
All right, you do not frenzy.
Ooh. But yeah, he has that outburst and catches himself, and he, takes a deep breath to calm himself down. And did Kirby tell you where they were going?
They didn't, but I know that those creeps still hang around the park. I've been able to stay away from like you asked, but they're still there, and I know that they still bully people until they go to Memorial Park and do the whole thing over again. And
Dimitri pauses to think for a moment as he comes up with a million bad ideas. And he says, well, what about you? Are you okay? Are you safe?
Yeah, I'm safe. I'm good.
I want to help Kirby, but I know that because of what they are, everyone else is not going to want to help them.
Sure. They're very kind, Dimitri. They've shown me nothing but kindness, and I'm hoping that you can help them. Maybe. I think they wanted you to deal more with those people, at least to some degree, since they can't with their mind-altering powers. At least not now, not with this special department running around the city.
I don't think I can make any promises, but the next time I go into the city to visit everybody, I'll see if I can dig anything up and see what I can find out.
Okay, thank you.
And Dimitri is going to give Veronica a really snug hug.
And she hugs back, shakes a little bit, and she goes, "But if you do decide to scare off those assholes, I think it'd be a good first step. Just so you know."
Yeah, I'll think about it and see what I can come up with. That's just my worry is that if I do something, then it might draw attention away from Kirby and the other vampires and towards us.
I understand. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, I'll see you later, okay?
Yeah, I'll see you later. As you start walking away and you see Bloodwind on the trail looking at you.
Bloodwind.
Howls-In-Memory. Out for a walk.
And Dimitri is going to shift into Lupus. I was speaking to Kin.
I heard some. What happened?
Dimitri's going to say, several days ago, we saved one of the Kin from humans who would steal their own kind for profit. We saved them, and the humans that are at fault are not as many are going to be punished.
You were there. Why not?
Because of the high band, because we can't move in the city as easily.
Were you alone?
Rescuing the Kin? No, I was with a member of my pack and Fomori's Bane.
And they failed to stop this because of the high band. So what did you do?
We saved the Kin and found and delivered evidence that would reveal the operation. But because
Listen to these words coming from you. What have the Hamid done to you? They should all be gone. The worm wiped out, destroyed. What they do there only festers. You know it within you. The wolf tells us to survive, but Gaia makes sure we fight. I do not understand. Evidence? And you left them? You could not destroy these humans for what they've done? Your hands would not let you? I do not understand who stopped you from doing this. A ban.
I could not stop them because it would have endangered the Sept. It would have endangered our Kin.
Danger, Howls-In-Memory, has already happened to our kin, and it happens again when we fail to fight and destroy that which would grow and fester, because look now, this problem is still a problem. We are not here to dance on our hind legs and do tricks for humans. You knew it was right. Do you wish to breed more apes? Our kin, we're looking out for them, only them, and not doing it our way? You are confused. I will speak with the alpha of that pack. Let us go from here. I'll head back, Keegan, to go find Two-Hearts.
All right.
Dimitri is going to stay behind for a few minutes to think about Bloodwind's words, and then he's going to head back.
Okay. Cora, you're chilling out. They've brought some food from you. You're living, well, not your best life, but definitely one of the more peaceful days here in the Sept during this lockdown that you've had in some time. When you notice Bloodwind heading towards you, his tail up, his fur raised.
She'll shift down into Lupus.
She does that?
Bloodwind.
Two-Hearts, I must have missed a ritual when you became a child of Gaia and turned away from Great Fenris. I hear of this attack, if you call it that, to save Hamid kin, where those responsible were not destroyed and remain. And now kin come here again to ask for help because you were unable to destroy the worm because of the high ban? An alpha of the Fenrir did not bring justice, did not destroy them? The worm festers and we retreat? Could this be? It must be a lie. There must be the lies of the worm filling my ears, because I do not understand these Hamid words.
Clearly you do not understand, Bloodwind. You were not there. You do not know the exact situation.
Then tell me, Two-Hearts, why you did not attack the worm and destroy it.
We attacked as we could so that we could save the kin as well as the humans that were there and not risk losing one of our own, because I hope you understand that losing even one of us will put us in great danger.
Listen to you fearing death. Tell me how death is terrifying. Tell me
It's
that we
not
might
fear,
die. You
Bloodwind.
surprised me.
It is
This secret
smart.
that you've unlocked, that we will die in battle, that we lose people fighting the worm, that we have lost many already because only the Fenrir understand this battle.
There are
and
greater
you
battles
took your
to die
time
in.
to save kin, to save some kin, because better to save them now and what? Live on our knees, retreating from these lands? Do you hear the words spoken around us?
There are better battles to die in.
Better battles? You mean the foolish battle where we thought we were strong and did not evaluate the enemy, and now we retreat? Now we retreat, and we tell our kin to abandon this place and go and give up land again? Tell that to my kin. Tell the wolves to give up their lands. Too much already. There were battles to be fought, victories to be had, and the worm to be destroyed. You were fighting. Were there banes? Were there great spirals there? Was it a citadel of power for the worm? Was it unassailable for you as a warrior of our kin to destroy these people and remove the worm taint? Was it beyond your power? The strength Fenrir gives you?
You're being short-sighted, Bloodwind. You die well. You don't die stupid.
Ah, yes, the child of Gaia argument. Prevent us from speaking our mind, then change like the season and call it fair. That is their way, correct? Ragnarok is on the horizon. What are we waiting for? You have brought information back to this sept about black spirals, a hive of them. You saw with your own eyes when you went and did reconnaissance. And here we are now, fighting against smuggling. Here we quibble about if the fight can be won. You've gone out and shown them where the enemy lies, and now we engage on this. What a waste. There will be no death, only the death of the worm by my hands. Come with me, make this right. We will hunt them down and destroy them. We will end this flight of people leaving here. We will not retreat. We are not waiting for a grapple. We are going to win.
I agree totally. Completely. You are right. The hive that I investigated is disgusting and it needs to be cleansed. I also believe that the city full of leeches is disgusting and needs to be cleansed. They are both worm taint upon this earth. Do you suggest that the few of us who we have left split and do each of them at the same time? Or do we pick our battles and die wisely?
You had a battle before you that was winnable, that would remove taint and cease turning our kin into victims, which there should be nothing more reprehensible in your mind than our people being turned into victims. Surely that should fill your mouth with the taste of blood and the desire to turn all of those enemies of ours to dust. I will go. I will make this right with my pack.
I do not believe that preparing our kin is turning them into victims. I believe that it is equipping them so that they are not turned into victims.
I heard the words, Cora Two-Hearts. I might not speak the human tongue so well as you, but I heard leaving, retreating, taking away and disappearing. They give up without a fight? Unacceptable.
You act like it is
Unacceptable
forever.
to us. Were you overwhelmed in that battle when you rescued those people? Because what I hear from your packmate is all of them survived. The enemy remained on the battlefield. Why? Why were you unable to kill humans that were tainted and subjugating others? Why was this so difficult?
Then I will come with you.
Very
Your
well,
pack
Two-Hearts.
will not do it alone.
Excellent.
When are we going?
2 days.
Done.
You lucked out, Cora Two-Hearts. for 2 days because the next day it snowed.
Oh, hell yes.
And you guard a field of ice and snow.
I've been
And
wanting
make
to
it
do
right.
this for so long.
And make it right. Meanwhile, Dimitri, Mark, Roy, Kyle, you guys have been given some money to go shopping to buy food supplies for the Karen, as you cannot go hunting on the grounds, and to pick up Mark's painting.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So you pick up things, you get the painting. As you kind of head back, and you guys have a few quiet moments to talk as you hear about Cora's new conviction to hunt with Bloodwind to kill as many human traffickers as possible.
Do we know that, like, has the high ban been lifted?
It has not been lifted.
So does everyone know that they're going to do this despite that? Like, is this
They-
a rumor we heard, or did they just tell us directly?
Cora told you directly. There is a rumor in the Karen, but the elders are withholding judgment simply because they wish to see what will happen, since they have now heard rumors too of government agents and vampiric patrols that had been clocked by several Garu and kinfolk becoming less effective in the city recently. So they're waffling on the high ban, but it is not officially lifted.
Dimitri is going to speak up and say, I actually heard something from one of my kin. We need to get the group together. We need to find Cora and talk about... We need to find Cora and talk about what I heard from the kinfolk.
Well, okay. Did Cora tell us all?
Yeah.
Or okay.
And one other question: was it an invitation, or was it a "I am going to go do this"?
Both.
I'm going to do this, but if you want to come, you're welcome. Don't feel forced to. I'm doing this.
Well, she's a pack member, and pack members run together. Mark is interested in going.
I will not be attending. Instead, I would like to go unbury that gun we buried somewhere and go to the park, and I've forgotten his name, unfortunately. Maybe Adrian? And murder him.
Oh, okay.
Because he's bad, but also that's not wolfish. That's just me shooting a guy.
Fair. That's totally
Nice.
fair.
I am shocked and taken aback.
He's the one that's like funneling people, homeless people, to
Yep.
the human traffickers. And so now that I know that, it's like, okay, well, I've got to deal with this. So, and it shouldn't be wolfish.
All right.
It's just shooting a dude.
So yeah, Kyle, you head down to Memorial Park as you give everyone your bags and go, I have something else to take care of. Go in, dig up the guns, sneak back into the city. As Adrian looks up, he looks a bit shocked and says, oh, hey Kyle.
Hey.
You didn't call them, huh? Thought you...
Oh, I did. But I found out what they were about.
As he reaches into his bag, holds again. It wasn't personal, Kyle. I just wanted a warm place to sleep and some food. They gave that to me.
Yeah. At the cost of the people here, man.
Isn't that just how it is? How many people step on us to have their own comfortable lives? And I'm the bad guy now for just trying to get mine?
You stepped a lot harder than most other people do. How many people that I know, that you've known for years, how many of them are gone now? Permanently or otherwise, hurt by what you've done, dead by what you've done.
A lot. I won't lie about that. No fucking point.
Nothing is worth this.
You can say that. All I know is, unlike a lot of my friends, I wasn't gonna die in the cold. As he reaches for his gun and he tries to turn it on you.
Yeah, I'll try and shoot him first. We'll see
You're-
if I get there. But
He's old, he doesn't really know how to use a gun, you're quicker on the draw. You fire
oh hell yeah.
and drop him in one round as people in the area start screaming and running in every which direction.
Yeah, time to go.
As you flee, and we will find out what happens next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. We will catch you all in that next episode. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.